everybody. Wendy Lee here with Leadership Revolution. Welcome to Transformational Tuesdays. I'm a couple minutes late. It's okay. It's all good. I'm Wendy Lee. I'm a influential speaker and a transformational life coach. And on Tuesdays, we hop on here to talk about what transformation is. So I usually like to share a little story of something that's happened during the week. And I have a interesting story, and it's about my transformation and some of the things that happened this week. So I'm going to be transforming out loud. So you get to see the behind the scenes as well. Because that's what life is, right? Life is some hills and valleys, some tweaks and turns and changes. It's all part of it. So I'm going to share a little story with you, and I'm going to give you a couple of nuggets. Okay, so here's what happened. So I was asked to help a good friend of mine on a project. I was totally honored that this person asked me, first of all, because I have a high level of esteem for this person and what they're doing in the world, and that they thought enough of me to ask me to help shows to me their trust in me and all of that stuff, right? So we had that element. We had the element of helping somebody out that you really care about and they matter to you. And so my part of the project, it was pretty straightforward. There were some elements in it that aren't my favorite. It's nothing I can't do, but I got really stuck. Like really stuck. And it was curious of what happened. And when I mean stuck, it was like I started like having low energy. I started sleeping often. Like my biggest coping mechanism when I get stuck is low energy and sleep. Like, some people spend a lot of money. Some people maybe have a couple extra glasses of wine. Some people, there's lots of things we do to preoccupy our time when we're hiding something. And that's really what it was about. Is that I had this task to do, and somewhere in my brain started putting its 2 cents in with, well, you got to get this done, and if you don't do it right, you're going to let this person down. Just go ahead and do it, even though, you're running into these different things. You don't quite understand all the pieces, but don't ask because, And now you've gotten behind because you're being lazy and you haven't gotten it done and you're waiting till the last minute and you're being a procrastinator. This is my brain talking to me. And guess what that energy did? It just sunk me down more and more and more and more. So after a couple of days of that, my transformational skills kicked in, and I started just like asking myself, I'm really curious why I'm reacting this way. Because it wasn't a life-threatening situation at all. But it was so interesting how I started to shut down and how that was showing up for me. So that was good. That was a good plus on my transformational skills, is that I noticed that I was stuck somewhere and I was starting to ask questions. And then I just decided it was partly decided for me. It was a co-creation. I just decided that I was going to spill the beans with this person and let them know that I was struggling. I was struggling with the assignment. That was causing me to hide. That was causing me to seize up. That was causing me to get stuck. And plain and simple, the shit wasn't getting done. And I was getting more and more overwhelmed because meanwhile, I know the clock is ticking and I don't want to not do it right. And I want to do a good job and I want to please this person. And just by me saying how I felt, there was this huge relief. Now, mind you, it wasn't constant. Like we were texting back and forth and I sent a message and then I was like kind of holding my breath like, okay, what are they going to say back? And then I was like, come on, stay in it. Stay in it. Don't run for the hills. And I just stayed in it. And I kept following through with what I knew to do. And lo and behold, I came up with what I felt like was a better solution to tackle this job. 2, I had a great conversation which cleared the air, so I felt so much lighter. Like almost immediately, I started having energy, right? And 3, I questioned myself. I knew enough that my brain was going doop haywire, and I questioned myself enough to say, wait a second, what's really going on here? And there you go. And so I got refocused, I got on the project, and I wiped out about 80% of that project today that I had been fretting about and worrying about for nothing, for nada, right? And it's okay. It's okay. But it's so easy to see how one thing could lead to the next, to the next, to the next. No wonder my energy was low. No wonder I wanted to put my head over the cover. I was just going into old patterns of being a victim in what I was doing instead of saying, you know what? Let me just reach out, express my feelings, work through the process, and see where it lands. Because I even thought about saying, maybe I'll quit the project and say, it's not for me. And I'm so glad that I didn't. And now I have all this energy. I created this awesome, I called it, I'm looking at it over here, manifesting my to-do list. And I wrote all this stuff down and it just reinvigorated what I needed to do. So, transforming out loud, hence telling you the story today, helps other people see that we're all going to hit the roadblocks. And in those moments, what tools are you going to use? And by the way, I also saw somebody else today transforming out loud, and that reminded me how important it was. So I'm seeing it out there. We're going to make this transformation thing a normal thing. It's a healthy way for us to move through the world. And transformation just means that we see ourselves growing as human beings in different situations. And it's so awesome. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay with the same patterns. You can learn and then choose different ways. All right. I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, share this post. Leave a comment down below of some of the ways that you find yourself getting stuck and what are your go-to remedies when you get stuck. The good, bad, and the ugly. We want to hear it all. And as always, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming on board. And for tonight, this is Wendy Lee with Leadership Revolution. We will see you later.